Oh, homies. I feel great. My homiesexuals. We got a good one today. It has been so nice. As you know, we just finished the first peak week out of the 3 blocks last week, and it has been so nice to get comfortable, confident, and normal with lifting these heavier weights. It truly feels fucking amazing because I've spent so long going back and forth, giving it time, coming back, hurting it again, giving it more time, coming back. The cycle never ends unless you stop, you know? And that's not a fucking option. We do not stop. We must keep going. We got to keep trying, seeing what works, because eventually progress is made. You know, the sport is exponential. It's not all at once, and you certainly will not see progress every single day. That's just how it is. You know, you'll very rarely be able to see visible progress in the moment. It's just not how it works. You know, you got to have faith in the effort you're putting in and the weights you're slinging over your head so that hopefully one day you can do better than what you thought you could do. That's it, you know? It's okay if I don't become the fucking number one best in the world. I'm going to be the number one best me. That is what's fucking important, you know? But either way, it was fun. I had great homie times, all the right kind of people. You know, that raw positivity is just going to make you feel so much better than when you got in there. You know, especially working 7.5, 8 hours, going straight to the gym after so I don't get too tired. And I still felt great. We're getting used to the schedule. My body is adapting the way I thought it would, and I am happy for it. The snatches went wonderfully to a point. They ended up very good. And the reason for that, I took a bit of a gamble today, a little bit of a risk to assess what would be best for my hand. If you know, a couple of days ago, I came in here with no food, no energy, new to the work schedule, and just was not taking care of my body, and it crashed on my hand a little too hard when I did a pause snatch, and I have a carpal bossing. It's a bone growth on my left hand, and it hurt pretty bad the other day. And so I thought, let's put on the wrist wraps, you know, give it that extra protection it may need, and see where to go from there. And so, as you can probably tell, you know, as you get there with me, the warm-ups I did with the wrist wraps on the whole time, with the ideology that it was making it safer for my wrist. And there's a back and forth with this. You have to understand that when it comes to Olympic lifting, there's a gamble with every single lift you do. You know, you will get strong in this way, but you also might get injured or hurt or weaker in this other way. You know, it's always a back and forth. It's never just one way or the other. So with my wrist, taking the wrist wraps off was actually the best gamble I could have made today, because that extra mobility that I was lacking because of the wrist wraps being there was what made the lifts easier to get over my head. But the thing is if I don't have proper care for my body and I'm not sound of mind, that kind of shit, it's going to crash and it might hurt my hand. But you have to be able to risk it a little bit and do your best with the best form that you know you can complete, even if there's that unknown of whether or not you could get injured one day, because that's where the passion comes from this sport. You know, it's having faith that you're going to do the best you can, and even if you get a little messed up along the way, you can bring it back or try your best in another way. You know, even today, after all this wrist stuff, I decided that it'd be a good idea to start doing some more PT movements. You can hold something strictly in the palm of your hand. It's a little heavy, and try to do a reverse curl, and, you know, not like holding a barbell in your palm, but like, you know, if you got like a heavy ball, like if you got like a steel ball that weighs like 10 pounds, just do reverse curls up and down with just your wrist moving, no arm movement. It hits a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. And with my decreased mobility, it's been really nice to stress test it a little bit, you know? Because the reality is, this is a permanent injury that I put upon myself 1.5 years ago. It was out of ego. I was lifting too heavy. Do I regret it? No. And then, yeah, sure. If I could go back, I would absolutely do it differently. But that's not life, you know? You can't sit there in the what ifs because that's going to make it to where you live in a delusion of what could have been without actually enjoying the present day that you're in right now, you know? So, you know, the sets with the wrist wraps didn't feel too great because it was just hard to get under the bar, walk forward a little bit on a couple of them, but at the very least, getting toward the last working sets, as you'll see, it gets progressively better and better, and as I'm always saying, I try to get that last set to be the absolute best set, even though I'm the most tired, because that's the effort you need to be able to come back next time and be able to grow from that, you know, because you make that the standard for what you want to do and surpass next time. You know, you got to be able to live and believe and hope in the next time without expecting anything from it. If nothing happens, whatever, I'm gonna keep doing it. If something happens, whatever, that's great, I'm gonna keep doing it. You know, there's no question of if or when or whatever or why. It's just do it. You know, do it the best way you can. Don't get injured. Keep your body physically safe first, and then lift some heavy weights. You know, have fun. Just, you don't gotta overthink it too much. But otherwise, overhead squats, super fun. I did try to do some acid grass movement for the first couple warm-ups. My knee was feeling really good today. It did start to feel a little weird. I just got this small inkling. It was like deja vu kind of feeling. But I tell you guys all the time, you gotta listen to your body. That intuition is gonna be what saves you one day. Because when you try to force that acid grass, when you can't do it, like me, and I'm coming through this knee injury, I need to take my time. I'm supposed to take my time. When I try to force it just because I feel a little bit better, that's when I'm going to have to restart the past 3.5 months of rehab again, you know? And I'm not doing that shit. I've learned enough. I got enough experience and perspective and humbled nature, you know, especially the humbleness. I do not need to lift heavy. It's okay. I'm just going to do what's in the program, stick by it, and not go too crazy. I've committed to the rest of this program being 90 degree, if not just a little bit lower, only depending on if my knee can take it in that very moment while I'm squatting, you know? I know that I did get pretty deep on some of them, which is great, but it happened without me forcing it or thinking about it. It was something that I simply just, I went to the depth that my body felt, hey, do that and your knee's not gonna hurt, you know? It's just, you're not gonna know unless you give it that experience a try, but it gets there, you know? It's just, you gotta be patient, listen to your body and understand what it really needs in that moment. And almost 100% of the time, it doesn't need all that weight. You know, I get it. A lot of us are strength builders. We want to get the heavy lifts over our head, doing the best we can. But sometimes you just got to let it go a little bit and make sure that your body is truly okay. Because we got a lot of time to work on this stuff. And the more you rush it, the more you overthink it, and the less fun you have. You know, enjoy the moment. Like, I'm 21 right now. I want to be lifting until I am dead in the ground. And so if I'm going to be doing that, I got another, hopefully something like 60 years that I could do this. That's a long time. That is so insurmountably long. I can't even imagine that much time at once, because I've only lived through a quarter of that, you know? So you just gotta give it that availability to where you don't need to do everything all at once. You know, everybody's in such a fucking rush to hit their lifetime peak, and then the moment they get there, they're like, oh, what do I do now? I'm like, you know, fucking shit. And not to say it's inherently a bad thing. It's not. Do whatever you want to do if that's gonna make you happy. But, you know, like, why not enjoy the passion while it's there? Run it while you got it, you know? And if that means going as heavy as you can and peaking at 25, then do your thing. And, you know, at least be happy and passionate about the next thing you pick up. But I want to Olympic lift forever. I love it that much that I really, truly want to keep doing it. So I'm gonna, you know, it's just putting in that effort and getting there when I get there. Otherwise, snatch pulls, pretty good. Again, I had really good energy today. The meal prep has been really on point, and I've been getting better with my timing in the day and just calculating my fatigue, all that shit, you know? Just enjoying the day, enjoying work, enjoying the gym, and deserving that time when I get to go home, you know? I will say that the any clean pulls or snatch pulls, they always blast the low back a little bit more than I wished it did, but that's the point, you know? It's showing that I have a weakness in a spot that typically doesn't get pushed when I do just normal lighter snatches. So I got to be able to give it that opportunity to grow and express itself while it's like, hey, man, you know, you don't got to go too heavy, but understand that, like, you don't feel as confident in this one, so maybe get a little bit more attention, you know? So I really try to get better throughout the workout and doing as well as I can, because I typically, I'll mentally relax a little bit, you know? But I'm happy with the way I brought it around. Physically, it was a good day. It really was. I'll give it an 8.7. It was a really fun day. Honestly, none of the weight was even hard. That's the fun part about it. The form may not have been perfect. I may have had a bit of shaky moments here and there, but all in all good lifts. Did every single rep and set that I was supposed to do, and I had a good time, you know? So I can't complain at all. It was a great day, and it's really cool to see that the strength is still there, even though I'm technically still injured, you know? What else? Mentally. I think I gotta give it 8.95. I don't know why. I like to just give you guys the first number that comes to the top of my head. It doesn't feel like I crossed that 9 border today, even though it was a really good day. Because sometimes you can have such a great day, but still just kind of be low-key. You know, you don't got to be super overexertive and hyped up and crazy on whatever pre-workout you're fucking taking that's going to kill you in 30 years. It's just, you know, I was just enjoying the moment, not really thinking too hard about it. I got a little in my head about my hand, but I brought it back, and it got good, and I fixed it in the moment, which is better than what I could have asked for. So I exceeded my limits today, and that is what is important. You know, I keep going back and forth a little bit. I'm human. It's natural to think about certain what-ifs in the future and what I'm doing with all this stuff when it comes to my knee, and now a little bit with my hand, with the way that's been feeling. And sometimes you get that thought of, like, God, when am I going to be healed? Like, please, when is it going to happen? And, you know, we're human. We all have some weak spots. We get to that little bit of a down hole where you're just like, God, just let me be at 100% again. And a lot of people ask me the question, especially when I'm injured like this, because they know what I'm going through, and they're like, in my program right now, I have the title of the program labeled as Journey to 100%, because I don't want to change that title until I feel at 100%. Well, I know it to be for myself, at least. And people are like, what does it, like, when are you going to get to 100%? Like, what does that even mean? And I don't know. You think I know? I just say that to give myself better hope and better passion and just live in the moment and love life a little bit more. I don't fucking know what I'm doing. Don't get me wrong. I have great experience. I have great education. I have great perspective. Those are important to making better decisions that can efficiently and effectively progress your lifts and your physical body. So I'm sure I'm going in a good, positive direction. But in the long run, none of us really know what we're doing. We don't know where we're going to end up. And that's fine. That's the ambiguity of life. Why not run with it? Have a little bit of fun while you're living in a mystery, you know? If you don't know what's going to happen, then why not fuck around and find out a little bit, you know? Do what makes you happiest. And right now, I'm like, I've had the thought of just like, how long do I got to sit here and be the injured guy, you know? 3.5 months is a long time. It's not long when you think about your entire life, but it feels long in the moment, for sure. I already know when I'm back at 100%, I'm not even going to remember it. I'm going to be like, yeah, it was like 2 weeks. But I'm like, you get that thought sometimes where you're just like, how long am I going to be that injured guy? You know, that's got that slightly bit of a bum knee where he can't squat all the way deep. He can get really close, but it's just not there yet. Sometimes his hand gets a little weird if you fuck it up, because he just got this random ass bone growth on his hand, and shit happens. And so the answer I got to that, at least personally, is just a matter of, it doesn't matter at all. I don't care if I am the injured guy for the rest of my life, if I'm the bum knee, bum hand guy for the rest of my life. It doesn't matter, because I love this. I truly give it every bit of love and passion that I can give, regardless of what happens. That's what it truly means to be passionate about something. If I have to squat to 90 degrees for the rest of my life, I'm going to look at you and say, at least I can squat to 90 degrees. Some people can't squat. Some people fucked up their spine. They won't be able to pick anything up for the rest of their life. Slip disc, bulge disc in the spine, it's a bad injury. You can be out forever. And I'm lucky enough already that the injuries I've had along the way have not been permanently debilitating. You know, I have torn my low back on both sides. I've pulled my really, really low back more times than I can count. I've fucked up my left knee. I've fucked up my left hand. I've pulled the tendon in my right hand. I've had a lot of shit happen. I've pulled the tendon in my fucking ankle from overstretching. As stupid as that sounds. I've done so much to my body because I just didn't have the knowledge and experience and perspective yet at those times to get past them without experiencing it myself. That's all it is. It's just being okay that while sometimes you're going to experience really amazing moments and really amazing PRs and amazing lifts on their own, you're also going to experience inevitably the shit side of that, where you get injured or something that never feels the same again. And that is life, man. It's as simple as that. It's just accepting who you are, accepting the deck of cards that life's given you to play with. Because if you're going to sit there and complain and say that I was just given a bad hand, so I'm just never going to have that good a life, then yeah, your life's going to fucking suck. Because that's a quitter's mentality. Love the life you were lucky enough to get. I say it all the time. Consciousness is a fucking miracle. That we can be here and talk to each other socially and emotionally with logic, it's never been done by any other species. It's a miracle, especially if you're sitting here watching this. You could have been a fish. You wouldn't even be able to feel pain, let alone think. We're here. We're experiencing life. We're just going through it together. So regardless of the downtrodden shit, and yeah, I want to be fully healed, and I want to lift at 100% again. But I got to be accepting and loving of the fact that this might be my 100% for the rest of my life, and that's okay. You know? Because I'm still living, I'm still breathing, I'm still loving life, and I still get to lift. Man, I love it. I love it too much to get mad. Truly. I love the things I do too much to actually get upset about it, because it's not worth it. You know? Hate, grudges, maliciousness, they're waste of time emotions. Those are the shit emotions that you got to express to your closest homies so they leave your mind as quickly as they can. Because if you're not living a life of just good, positive, faithful nature, then you're going to be constantly worrying about the wrong shit, you know? Of course, everybody's got their reasons. Everybody's got their background. That's what compassion is. And trust me, I got compassion, you know, especially working at the hospital. Everybody goes in there at their worst, and you got to really understand that whatever they do to you or say to you, it's not personal, you know? You just got to take your own life by the balls and do what you can, you know? That's just kind of the brunt of what I'm trying to say. I don't know. I got a little philosophical. I was feeling a sort of way today. But I'm doing great, honestly. I could care less if my knee and my hand are going to be this way for the rest of my life, because I'm here. And better than that, I get to talk with you guys. And I love talking with you guys. You guys make my day sometimes. But anyway, I will be back tomorrow. I appreciate whoever didn't stick around and hear me yap about for a little bit. You know, you guys really, you should know how much I appreciate it by now. But I got some power clean and jerk. That'll be fun with some heavier back squats. Lighter, or, well, like, same weight as what last week, you know, like 365, but we're only doing sets of 4 for higher set volume. That kind of shit, you know? So we're going to have fun. It'll be nice. And I love you guys. Simple as that, you know? I'm always going to be back, as usual. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.